Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community Church. We are a welcoming congregation where we strive to transform ourselves and the world through love, wonder, and connection. My name is Elena Brooks Perkins, and I serve on the worship team, I chair the nominating committee, and I sing in the choir. And my pronouns are she, her. So today we're going to be talking about SUUSI. SUUSI is the Southeast Unitarian Universalist Summer Institute, SUUSI. And it is an intentional community of UUs and kindred spirits. It is the second largest gathering of Unitarian Universalists after General Assembly. And for more than 70 years, SUUSI has come together for a week in July to explore interconnectedness, delight in the outdoors, enjoy music, and learn new ways of seeing our world and each other. It is a multi-generational community, providing activities and events along with programs designed to meet the various needs of diverse populations. Nature trips, workshops, worship, and nightlife opportunities are plentiful. SUUSI endeavors to provide a full and meaningful experience for all members of a family, whatever their age, ability, personality type, or sleep schedule. At SUUSI, they strive to acknowledge diversity and connect with others based on shared humanity. It is typical for someone to sit down at a table in the cafeteria with people they've never met and start a conversation. So how did you find out about SUUSI? What do you think about the worship service last night? What's your favorite workshop so far? By the time the meal is over, table mates are no longer strangers. That's part of the SUUSI magic. In today's service, some of our UUCC members and friends will share about their experiences at SUUSI and their SUUSI magic. Whether you're here for the first time or the 100th time, welcome. Whatever you are facing in your own life, welcome. This is a place where we try our best to be real with one another, to get through hard things, and to remind ourselves and one another of the values that ground and center us, motivate and move us. Whoever you are, whatever your faith journey, whomever you love, you are welcome here. We welcome all who seek to know the sacred and all who seek to make our world more just. Our commitment is to be together in covenant, so please join me in our affirmation of who this community is, beginning with that all-important word. Love is the message of this church, and service is our way. This is our great covenant together, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please rise in body or spirit to join in singing our opening hymn, Let It Be a Dance, which is number 311 in the gray hardcover hymnal.
use she, her pronouns. Welcome, I'm glad you're here. I will share our chalice lighting words as Helen lights our chalice. These words are adapted from the Reverend Celia Thurston. We light this chalice for all the times you have lit the chalice, for every time you struck the match, or flicked that zapper thing, or empowered a nervous parishioner to do the same. We light this chalice for all you've done, for all you've fostered and cultivated and nudged, for all you've suggested and directed and maneuvered. We light this chalice for the intensity of your reactions in responding to grace and rejecting mediocrity, within a tender balance between tradition and choice. We light this chalice for your being here now, out of calling, out of commitment, out of love. We light this chalice for the time you have spent preaching and hurting and healing. We light this chalice for you.
I'm significantly shorter. Please join me now in a time of meditation and prayer. This meditation comes from Lauren Wythe. Let's take a few minutes to settle in and get centered. I invite you to get as comfortable as you're able. You may want to stretch or adjust how you're seated, shake out a little tension. Whatever you need, just try to give yourself a little bit more physical comfort, if that's possible. And now I invite you to notice if it feels okay to pay attention to your body for a little bit, to notice a place inside of you that feels like a center. Just breathe with your attention there, if you'd like. You might notice the presence of love at this center. See if it's there and breathe into it. With each in-breath, notice love at the center. I then invite you to notice the edge of the out-breath, noticing love at the center of each in-breath and noticing the outer edge of each breath you release. You might bring your attention to your own edges, finding a boundary that marks an edge of you. Perhaps it's your skin, maybe it's a bubble of energy surrounding you. Perhaps it's somewhere inside, closer to your center. Wherever you find that boundary is okay. Breathing in and noticing the center. Breathing out and noticing the boundary. You can play with this practice, breathing, noticing what happens with your center and your edges as you stay with them and give them your attention. Sometimes our boundaries want to be pulled in close for protection. Sometimes they want to be big and spacious and roomy. Both needs are real and deserve our respect. As you attend to your center and your edges now, you might use your breath to help mark the boundary that is right-sized for this moment. Take a few breaths there. And when you're ready, I invite you to come back to our shared space and to notice again who is here with you. Each of us an individual with their own center and boundaries, each one part of this larger collection of beloved companions. All of us part of the larger whole with love at the center. We're so glad you're here. We return to our centers of connection every week because we know the rituals bring us closer and allow us to share joy and hope, sorrows and fears that shape our lives. In the next few minutes of contemplative time, we'll be sharing together the experiences of witnessing each other and expressing our inner experience of joy or hope by lighting a candle, and expressing our inner experience of sorrow or fear by placing a stone. In a moment, I'll invite folks to come forward, but first, if you're online, please use the chat to participate in our ritual. Write your name in stone or candle, and we'll add one to the altar for you. If you're in the room and you'd like someone to light a candle for you, please raise your hand. Colin. And if you'd like someone to place a stone for your sorrow, please raise your hand. Anyone who'd like to come forward may do so now. You can come this way to do candles, this way to do stones, and you're welcome to do both. We light a candle for Maria. We light a candle for Chris. We light a candle for Alan. We light a candle for Kurt. We light a candle for Rita. We light a candle for Carol. We light a candle for Gail. And we place a stone for Rita. We light one final candle for all the joys that remain in our hearts. And we place a final stone for the remaining sorrows this morning. And please join me in singing our
Amen. And I note that we have lots of joy this morning, and we are going to add to that now. It's a great day to clap your hands. It's a great day to clap your hands. It's a great day to clap your hands, gathered in the light of love. It's a great day to give a five. It's a great day to give a five. It's a great day to give a five, gathered in the light of love. If you're comfortable, this was always a favorite. It's a great day to bump a rump. It's a great day to bump a rump. It's a great day to bump a rump, gathered in the light of love. Good job. Hi there, my name is Adina Danuf. I use she or they pronouns, and I am your Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. This might not come to as a shock to many of you, but I spent a number of years as a camp counselor when I was in college. And as a counselor, I got to lead songs like that one. That one was a huge favorite with the kids. And I got to help lead chapel every day with stories and give talks. I led fun art projects, music and theater activities, played games, and hung out with some pretty cool kids. Don't get ahead of the story. Okay, so I loved the sense of community and love that I felt when I was at camp. I lived there for a whole month every summer, and it became another home for me. I went to the camp as a kid, came back as a college counselor, came back again to teach classes that the kids take during the year. It was home for a very long time. I'm still connected with many of the people that I worked with, and the campers that I worked with there. Some of them are now in their 30s, so we're not going to talk about that, but we're still connected and I love them deeply. So fast forward in the trajectory of my life a little bit, I end up getting this really cool job where I get to lead songs sometimes, tell stories, give talks. I lead fun art projects, music and theater activities, play games, and get to hang out with some pretty cool kids. I love the sense of community and love that I feel there, and it's become another home for me. Also, it wasn't long before the SUUSI people, shout out to like half the front row right here, convinced Travis and me that we needed to go to SUUSI. And wouldn't you know, I loved the sense of community and love that I felt there too. I've only gotten to go 2 times, and the second time I actually worked there with the children's program. And it was really neat watching the different ways that the kids in the programming connect with one another through activities and songs and things that they look forward to all year long, especially getting to age up into the things that they watched other kids do the last time they were there. One tradition that really stood out to me was the gathering of all ages near the end of camp, where each of these classes shares a chant or a song or something funny that they worked on over the course of the week. So when I was there, my class shared this one. It's a call and response, so you get to play again. Okay. How funky is your chicken? How funky is your chicken? How loose is your goose? How loose is your goose? Now come on, everybody. Now come on, everybody. And shake your caboose. There's a lot of bottom half movement with children, right? They really enjoy that. So, all of that to say, you'll hear some of the impacts that SUUSI has had on, SUUSI, not Susie, I don't know her, has had on people over the years, and I think that you'll keep hearing these same themes of community and love. It's what draws people to Unitarian Universalism, it's what draws people to spaces like SUUSI, and it's what draws many of us here to UUCC, right? So now some of us are going to go in community and love because it's a great day to go to class. And I hope you all have fun here. Thank you.
Please join me in our offering and acknowledging all the ways we give to this church and this world. We give because this is our church, and we value what it does for us, to us, and through us to our community and our world. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this church inside and outside our walls. May we give in love and in hope. wonder, and connection that blesses this church and transforms our world.
Our reading today is from Starhawk, from Dreaming the Dark, Magic, Sex, and Politics, and it's called Community Means Strength. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned we can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere, a circle of hands will open to receive us. Their eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength. That joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us as we falter. A circle of healing. A circle of friends. Someplace we can be free.
Thank you, Jonathan. So we're going to have some slides rolling while we're speaking. There's going to be some friends of mine coming up and sharing their experiences as well. I hope you enjoy seeing some fun adventures myself and some friends have been on over the many years. All right. So I consider myself a conference junkie, immersing myself in those intentional and often very intense community experiences. And I've loved attending weekend and week-long conferences since I was in high school in the United Methodist Church. And then when I became a Unitarian Universalist, I started attending UU Young Adult conferences. And these were held at different conferences and camps across the country each summer. Then I heard about SUUSI, and I was like, well, I'd like to check out something a little closer to home in Virginia. At the beginning of service, you heard Elena talking about introducing SUUSI with all the programming options that were offered, from nature trips to workshops to nightlife, worship. So I've attended SUUSI for 14 years now, 14 summers. I might like it, just a little bit. So there have been many cherished memories that exemplify community and that SUUSI magic for me. So I'll share just a few for now. If you've talked to me ever about SUUSI, you know I can go on and on, so I'm trying to pare it down a little bit. So I've taken many workshops, some where I've made beautiful items. I've made a tile mosaic that I've hung on my wall. I've learned how to make wire-wrapped jewelry, 2 pieces I'm wearing today. I've enjoyed hard cider tastings and chocolate tastings and tea tastings. I've made a joyful noise in many singing workshops, drumming workshops, wonderful music. I was introduced to the meditative movements of Tai Chi, and it was where I first learned how to contra dance and brought that back to Richmond to enjoy. I know we have some contra dance folks in our congregation. I've gone off campus and enjoyed many nature trips, including ziplining, whitewater rafting, kayaking, numerous hiking trips, and even a river cleanup service project in a canoe. We said this was church camp, right? Well, there is an informal worship service every morning, every evening, And it's led by ministers that are in attendance at SUUSI. So they bring a great variety of theological perspectives and service styles. Wonderful to great way to go attend, see wonderful different styles of worship services. And the dancing, did I mention the dancing? Have I mentioned that? There's a dance every night from 9 at night to 1 in the morning. And there's themes, so you can dress up if you're so inclined. One of our attendees here, Miss Stacy, is a DJ at those dances. Now, since I'm up late dancing every night, sustenance is required. Similarly, let me introduce you to BBQC. That's a late night meal and social time. That starts at 1 a.m. So I rarely see breakfast. My 3 meals at SUUSI are lunch, dinner, and BBQC. Then I sleep through breakfast. That meal is offered if you want to eat that, but you won't see me there. If you're concerned about the cost of SUUSI, it is a week-long experience, but you can volunteer to be on staff. So for several years, I've worked 10 to 20 hours during the week as a volunteer staff, and that'll cover a quarter to half of my registration fees. These volunteer jobs have included helping out with inventory and register sales at the bookstore, assisting at craft tables during the afternoon community time for all ages. You can even offer to teach one of these great workshops. They are all participant-led. For me, as others have said, SUUSI is about community. I look forward to seeing friends from the past, making new ones. I challenge myself to take workshops, to learn something new, to go on nature trips, to go on some wild new adventure. It's the best summer camp you've ever attended. And also has 600 to 800 of your best UU friends along with you, all there to support the community and create a magical place together. I carry this community energy with me throughout the rest of the year.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Michelle Bertram. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm part of the tech team and book group. I want to share my experiences about my first time at SUUSI and what I didn't expect. My mom and I went to SUUSI together in 2024. We're both lifelong UUs, but this was both our first time at SUUSI. It was the only week all year, other than my wedding, that I was going to see my mom in person, so we spent a lot of time catching up. Most of that time was great. We went canoeing together. So we used to canoe on a calm lake in Maine when I was a kid, only this time we were canoeing down Class 1 and Class 2 rapids together. I definitely didn't panic at the first rapid, shout at my mom, and have to apologize afterward. We did classes on calligraphy, yoga, and self-massage for pain relief. I have such good memories with my mom from that week, and I'd do all of those parts over again. But we didn't talk about boundaries in advance, she and I, like expectations about how much separate time we should have. My mom wanted us to sign up for an almost identical schedule that week. I had to really push back just so I could go on a hike that she couldn't do. My mom and I are both very shy, but I'm more willing to talk to new people. So I didn't like when we only sat with each other for every single meal, while people at nearby tables all seemingly chatted away with their new acquaintances. My mom paid for all the expenses for us both to attend SUUSI, so I felt obligated to do more what she wanted. At times, I felt frustrated, and then I felt guilty for being frustrated. As a new attendee, I did not like the vibe of the ingathering in the auditorium Sunday evening. But so much changed by the time I returned to that same auditorium for the amazing Teens Way Off Broadway show on Friday. At the beginning of the ingathering, there were people playing thunderous drums in the auditorium lobby, and I didn't know I could have auditory overload until the very moment I tried to walk past them into the auditorium. The ingathering also had a lot of inside jokes and references. The folks who had been there before clearly enjoyed this, but I just felt lost and othered. The good news is that you don't have to be at SUUSI long to get it. Like that Friday night, I was right there with the rest of the audience, pointing at the orange cow on stage and mooing and grinning from ear to ear. So I'm gonna go back, but I'll do it differently next time. I don't know if I'll go with my mom again, or I'd be really clear and firm with my boundaries. I'll pay for myself and offset the cost by volunteering as a fun way to meet people, win-win. And I'll bring my loops if they still have the drums.
Hello, I'm Meg Lindholm, and I'm on the membership committee. I'll just put out the word. We're trying to start some Soul Matters groups here. Might be hearing more about that, but I'm just going to start by saying Charlene could sell dirt to a farmer. She, about 6 months before we went to SUUSI in 2024, she started coming up to me after services with what I refer to as a little Svengali smile. And she would say, "Are you thinking about maybe coming to SUUSI this year?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about it." And she was good. She didn't hound me. But over time, as I thought about it and talked to her more, I realized it might be actually the perfect fit for a multi-generational family that needed a vacation together, but where we could all sort of also be apart, not spend too much time together. And we had going with us in 2024 ages from 13 to 75. And SUUSI was able to accommodate all of us. So my daughter, the 13-year-old at the time, was enrolled in kids' activities. Nick, my son, and his girlfriend were doing the real heavy adventure stuff, pirating the high seas and, whitewater rafting. And my 74-year-old sister-in-law could do Tai Chi and haiku. And then Matthew and I did a whole bunch of activities that kind of touched in all those areas, including, and Michelle, I relate to the canoe adventure. We had a canoe adventure of our own, a twilight canoe ride on the New River, like what could be more beautiful on a sunny, gorgeous, beautiful day, which is how it started out at about 6 in the afternoon. The sky was blue and the sun's shining and I'm looking at the birds and then all of a sudden I'm looking ahead and I'm like, what's that kind of purple looking cloud ahead, that's coming towards us? And the next thing we knew, the sky opened and, well, it didn't happen quite so dramatically, It started out feeling sort of light and refreshing and then it turned into the deluge. And honestly, if I'd had windshield wipers on my glasses, they wouldn't have worked. I mean, it just was like I was just a drowned rat. But part of the magic of that experience was Matthew was in the back, I was in the front, not seeing anything. And in between us was a woman in her 80s who hadn't come along with anyone, so we had invited her into our canoe. And she ended up being the magic for us. Her name is Elle, and she goes every year. In her 80s, she takes the train from Los Angeles to Virginia to attend this camp every year, and she loves it. And she regaled us with the story of this adventure of traveling by train to SUUSI, and the more she talked, the calmer I felt. We had to get off the canoes. The lightning was starting to come and it was not safe. And by the time we got back in the water about an hour later, it was pitch dark. So on top of the rain, I couldn't see a thing. If there had been a 15-foot wall in front of me, I would have canoed right into it. But Elle kept me sane. She just kept telling stories. I was like, Elle, do you have another story about meeting the Dalai Lama in Tibet? Kind of making that up, but they weren't far off from that. And so it was an adventure, it was great, and there is magic to be found.
Good morning, I'm Deb Downing, and I use her and she pronouns. And I have a little thing here. It is actually a blatant advertisement for the nature program at SUUSI. But actually, I went to SUUSI the first time before this building was built. The second time when Stacy's son was about this high, and he slept underneath my cot in his sleeping bag. And then I didn't go for like 20 years until Stacy said, Deb, we really need you on the nature staff. And of course, I said, oh, well, of course, I can help. So anyway, the last 3 years I've been on the nature staff, and I love it. So I'm going to read you just a few things about that. I love a lot of things about SUUSI, but probably the thing that keeps me coming back now is the nature program. SUUSI is always set in or close to the Southern Appalachians, so the mountains are there and they are calling. There are hikes for everybody, from gentle, mindful walks through the forest to challenging, strenuous climbs up Dragon's Tooth and McAfee's Knob. There are hikes for families and hikes that are wheelchair accessible. And the nature program isn't just about hiking. There is kayaking, canoeing, tubing, climbing, horseback riding, bicycling, swimming, picnicking, birding. You can learn to forage for wild edibles, identify mushrooms, photograph bridges, and tie knots. You can go berry picking, and you can visit local farms, vineyards, my personal favorite, and breweries to sample the local products. And to give back, you can participate in local cleanup and service projects. And this is just a sampling of what SUUSI Nature Program offers. Come talk to me after the service, and I'll tell you about my favorite excursions. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Scott Krell. I am the moderator. I also lead the tech team. I go by he, him pronouns. For those who have visual issues, I am wearing a SUUSI t-shirt. I have salt and pepper hair and a goatee and dark rimmed glasses and plaid shorts. What can I say about SUUSI that hasn't already been said? Ignore this if I go first. As mentioned before, if you take all the fun of summer camp as well as sleepovers and the best parts of your college living, you get outdoor adventures, arts and crafts, evening with friends, dance parties, midnight cookouts, board gaming events, cooking classes, deep intellectual conversations, shallow intellectual conversations, silly party games, and spiritual journeys, all rolled into a tight week-long package. And that is what SUUSI is. As a father of 4, one of the best things for me was getting to see my family both explore individually and then together. My littlest one would go to her activities and gleefully find friends. My middle one would kind of grumpily go off, and I'd see them again at lunchtime, and I'd hear some of the fun things. And then the teenagers. The teenagers are a unique breed. They have their own dorm. They live by themselves. They have one rule. One rule with regards to your parents, and that you must physically touch them once a day. And so some of the best memories I have of having one of my kids sneak up on me, boop me, and take off with a gaggle of friends, where they get to live their own life, and it's very, very fulfilling to hear all the stories afterwards. The SUUSI experience is designed to work with singles, couples, nuclear and extended families of all ages. It's quite an exceptional feeling to see all these wonderful people who you don't know, who you will know, gather together and share their love with each other. There's something awe-inspiring to sit in an auditorium and watch a handful of youth perform their own version of Macbeth, but with a very UU spin, after rehearsing intensely for only a week. So if you've got a desire to participate in a UU summer experience that's truly designed for the whole family, or of whatever size that is, from 1 to 20, then come find one of us, and we'll help you get there.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Stacy Vacchetti. I use she or they pronouns, and I am not on any committees here. I started coming to UUCC probably in 2005 when my son was 3, and then life happened, and well, needless to say, I'm not here as often as I used to be. But I'm here today, and I'm so glad to see so many old friends. It's really nice to be in this space. I can't stand in this church and lie to y'all. If it had been up to me, I'm not sure that I would have gone back to SUUSI after my first one, if it wasn't for my 8-year-old at the time, Hugh. I was in the middle of a very difficult separation. And one of my good friends talked me into applying for a SUUSI-ship. That's what they call scholarships at SUUSI. You see what they do there with the language. It's and so I applied for SUUSI-ships for both Hugh and I. We both got them, and so we went. Hugh had the time of his life in the youth program. He made friends that he literally still has to this day. They went on a beach trip this past year, 4 of them together. And as we were pulling away from Radford after that first SUUSI, he looked at me and said, "When can we come back?" I, on the other hand, spent most of that week overwhelmed and sad. To be clear, it had more to do with my situation at the time than it did with SUUSI. But we did go back the next year. I got on staff. As a single mom, I couldn't afford to pay for both Hugh and I myself, so I got on staff in the SUUSI store and sold amazing books and merch and made new friends of my own that I still also have to this day. We're going camping next weekend, as a matter of fact. And I've been going back every year ever since. This past year was my 15th SUUSI. What I love about SUUSI is that it can be whatever you need it to be at that time. You love worship? Yep, there are 2 every day. You love nature? You've heard a lot about that programming. You love music? There are amazing performances, and you can be in a pop-up choir or a drumming workshop, as Charlene said. You love dancing? We do it every night. And that's not even touching the workshops and the intergenerational community spaces and the deep diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility programming that's happening at SUUSI right now. I've heard people say it sounds wonderful, but I just don't know if it's for me. Maybe it seems too far away, or it seems too big, or just like too much. But every year, newcomers arrive, and what they discover is that SUUSI is built for them. It's built for us. There is space for quiet souls and extroverts, for families and singles, for those who love the woods and those who love the coffee house. SUUSI is less about what you do there, though, and more about who you become there. Friends, I believe that in times like these, the world feels so fractured and we need places of wholeness. We need experiences that remind us of joy and resilience and the simple beauty of being together. SUUSI is such a place. And as the current president of the SUUSI board, I have come a long way. I want to issue you a personal invitation to come to SUUSI in July of 2026. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have, and I really do truly hope to see you at SUUSI.
Please rise and bow your spirit for our closing hymn. Number 1000, Morning Has Come, in our teal softcover hymnal. In preparation for our closing, let us reach out to each other in whatever way we feel comfortable. When you go, find the community that brings you joy, that brings a little magic to your world. When you go, go in peace.
Leave this place knowing that you are good and knowing that you are loved.
Blessed be.
Take your dark and your light and your love from this place. Share them with the world and stay safe until we meet again. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Please enjoy coffee and conversation, and also join us in a few minutes for a board informational meeting.
Okay. Oh,
I just needed to give this to you.
do I need to sign something? Is it?
Yeah, I think the board actually has to, I don't know whether you sign or, how it's been done in the past.
Signature of clergy president, that's me. Probably one lump sum.
Okay. I don't know why you all do it that way, because it's always so much easier to just break it up, but,
Well, I can talk to
Yeah.
Alex. It's they're in charge of.
yeah.
Don't go to sleep, you.
So, and I think there's stuff on the back. I didn't notice that there was.
Building a pilot. This is just for us for next
Yeah.
time. So.
Yeah. So,
All right.
okay, so,
Hey guys,
Hey, ho.
hey,
just grabbing this.
Oh, yep. Mic check. Sorry. Scott, check. All right. Hello and welcome. This is the, back it up to UUCC Board Informational Meeting, October 2025 for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. All right. On our agenda, we'll have our chalice lighting, and then, hi, my name is Scott Krell. I'm the board moderator. I use he, him pronouns. I'm wearing a colored blue shirt, and I have salt and pepper hair, dark rim glasses, and a goatee. I also am head of the tech committee. All right, so we're going to go, thank you for the agenda. We're going to do the chalice lighting. I'm going to introduce the board, so that way, although those of the board who are here, a couple of them couldn't make it. And then we'll have a budget update, and then if time permits, if we aren't running too late, then I'll just go over, the board had created some goals, and I just want to share them with you. All right, chalice lighting. It's out, I don't really want to light it. The Mysterious Pull of the Unanswerable by Brian Lennox. Do you want me to light it? Are you good? You're gonna, oh, thank you, Dina. We have chosen to bring ourselves here to this sanctuary to gather as a community of faith. We join together in solidarity as a covenanted people who are drawn together by the promise of connection and the mysterious pull of the unanswerable. We draw on experiences of love and wonder and connection to lift our hearts and move us beyond the mundane. As seekers, wanderers, appreciators of nature, connoisseurs of curiosity, and creators of connection, our paths have converged today so that we might become present in the spirit that is worship. And so let us worship together, or in this case, information. Okay, so can you scroll down to the Board of Stewards chart, which is 3 or 4 down? I changed the order, sorry. There we go. All right, so could I have the thems who's in the board show up? Come here. So as you can see on the chart, each of us has taken committees under our wings, and we should be in contact. They should be in contact with you vis-a-vis informational updates, and any problems you have, please bring to their attention or to mine. All right, well, I'm going to have Alex introduce themselves, and there's a black and white that's a little better to read.
Hey, I'm Alex Wixorkins. I use they, them pronouns. If it has to do with money, yeah, finance, stewardship, endowment, and then also nominating committee will also. And then Michelle Ham is also our treasurer this year again, just so we're aware.
Hello, Carrie Williams-Jensen, and so I'm music and arts and care, and I think where am I? Peace building.
You're also the secretary.
And oh yeah, and I'm the secretary too. So yeah, care and music arts, yeah.
Matthew Lindholm, also a member of the board. And this is, gosh, we've had one meeting, we had a retreat, we had one meeting, we've had two. We've had 2 meetings, excuse me. Well, I guess the retreat was both. And I'm on personnel, liaison really of personnel. Our job is to communicate with the chairs of the committees and share with the rest of the board, so we're kind of know what each other is doing. So, glad to be here.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but Carrie and Alex and
Matthew.
all went really fast.
Oh.
And my process slower than I know you do personnel. Anything else that you're
Yes, we're trying to work out, actually, I can make a plea or a pitch right now. We don't have someone who's liaison to the Tidewater cluster, and that's also a responsibility of mine, just to communicate with whoever that person is and share with the board, and then obviously the board shares with the congregation. And personnel, and there's one other.
You've got denominational affairs.
Yes, that's the cluster,
Right.
Tidewater cluster.
And you've got personnel committee.
I got
twice.
personnel.
So you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and look, I think there are a number of new members on the board that are relatively new to the church. I've been here 2 years, so there's a significant learning curve, I know for me, and I think that's the case with other new board members too, and we really want to cultivate, bringing in folks that have joined the church recently and kind of make that transition. So we're learning. And thank you for the question. And
Do you want me to repeat? Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Well, and see, it's also because, sorry, I wasn't prepared. I was not expecting to have to speak. So, Carrie Williams Jensen and she, her, and so as far as board, I don't like the word obligations, but service goes. So I'm secretary, and my committees with which I am liaison are care committee and music and arts. So as somebody else, I don't remember who said it, I think it was Scott, if you have issues, and you are music and arts or on the care committee, then funnel them through me. And so then I will, we'll take them to the board and basically see if there's something that if we can address it. And I was going to mention One Church. Sorry. The words the past couple of days are just like not wanting to pop into my head. At least not in English. Spanish, it's like, but so all of these things, so like this, it should be, unless I am misspeaking, they should appear in One Church, right? All these, and it is also my task to put the minutes, which I do still need to do, is put the minutes in the board minutes into One Church as well. And so they will appear, and we're actually having a big meeting about like kind of how to, I guess maybe kind of make that a little more obvious. So, I mean, because I know I've been hearing for however long we've been doing One Church, it's in One Church, it's in One Church, look at One Church. And then you go to One Church and you're like, okay, I'm here, now what? It's like, so, yeah, so I think that we'll probably work on seeing how to make that like more, the little breadcrumbs easier to follow. Jane?
Yes, so how soon after the board meeting will the minutes appear in One Church? Are you planning to do that? Sometimes months and so the issue's been.
Right, so I guess my answer to that today, standing here at this moment, is as soon as possible. So because again, we are, lay people, and so we're, but my understanding is that it's like after we approve the minutes, then at like the next meeting, then that is when it's like okay to upload them, so.
There's the potential to it. So part of it is, the secretary is also engaged in an active participant of the board meeting. And so part of it is going back and just parsing through what was actually said. We record our board meeting so that Carrie can go back and listen to it again and process and put it together. So yes, we can expedite that process if it would be beneficial to you. But ultimately, it's one of those things that as a layperson, you know, there are time constraints.
Well, if the liaisons communicate regularly, then it's not so much an issue.
No, that is our plan.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Peter? Yeah.
Mike, thank you, Scott. Mike, you asked to have this chart put in the e-news this coming week.
Certainly, absolutely.
Thank you.
Secretary, make a note of that. Just kidding. All right.
Sorry, do you need me to go back up?
All right. Some of the members of the board who are not present today, Mike Recant, who is the vice moderator. He is in charge of, he's the liaison for buildings and grounds and for the church database systems, which is in conjunction, thank you, with One Church, just keeping all of the records straight. Jason Gard is liaison with Social Action Ministry, Religious Exploration and Fellowship, and will be running the SAM meetings. And Sarah Maxwell is in liaison with Safer Congregations and Shared Ministry. And everyone else falls under Reverend Sarah Goodman. So, any further questions? All right, thank you. All right. Right, yes, Kevin, sorry.
How would you feel about maybe a dozen or so printed copies?
I was going to mention that we can have copies made for those who are interested. Although, as pointed out, we could also just put it in the e-news. But if you would like a paper copy, it can be made available, absolutely.
I was just gonna say, so I guess like the permanent storage for posterity is One Church, yes.
Yes.
So, but yes, the e-news, yeah, I had actually thought of that too.
Awesome.
All good?
Yep, all right. So next up, I believe, is Alex. Do you want the?
Yeah. Just pull up the. No, I don't need the. So if you just click here, so I can see the base numbers.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, on the screen is I'm going to use air quotes here, scary number of a negative number for our gross income. I want to put a giant asterisk on this. We have 2 months of financial data so far that this includes. So it's July and August. We won't have September's information until mid to about the third week of October. It is something that gets compiled, sent to the CPA, they put everything together. We front-loaded a lot of our expenses this year. We have already paid $2,500 to Risk. We are not paying another dime to Risk this fiscal year. So that's part of that $10,000. We paid $5,700 in insurance up front. We're not paying insurance again. That is, again, our upfront piece. The thing to keep in mind, too, is there's a couple things at play here. We have $0 in auction income at this time because the auction hasn't happened yet. That is a huge chunk of our revenue if we look at the year over year. Currently, 92% of our revenue as of today comes from pledging, and we're already a little bit ahead on our pledges so far this year. We're about $1,000 ahead with those 2 months. Keep in mind, Shady Grove Coffee House hasn't fully calculated the first performance. We haven't received the total income for that piece to count in August. So again, that's another piece that's missing from this story. And the numbers at a glance, it, like I said, air quotes, looks a little scary, but realistically, we are on track. This is the cycle we go through. Every year at the beginning of our fiscal year, we have some big expenses we pay outright, and then we never pay another dime towards it. And so that number gets better as we go. The other part is when we presented the budget last year for approval from the congregation, it included a line that's operational reserve funds that we're pulling from, essentially, I hate to use this word, but profit from last year. In the first month, we took a payment of $1,400 and counted it towards our budget. The fiscal committee got together and said, hey, this doesn't make sense to add those funds to our budget line item until we actually need to draw those. Because my biggest thing is I don't want to get to the end of the year and show a surplus in income and have that falsified because of the fact that we're backloading from last year's profit, air quote profit, right? So if those funds are needed, we are going to inject those funds into the budget. If we don't actually end up needing those funds will continue to act as a back reserve for the coming year to the next fiscal year. we don't want to falsify how the church's fiscal standing truly is, right? We're not a profit organization, we are not a for-profit company, and we don't want to continuously show a profit at the end of the year if those funds aren't being utilized. We'd rather the funds be utilized for things that are happening year over year over year. And we do have plenty of reserves to cover anything that may come up at this point. We're not in jeopardy in any means of missing payments, of missing, taking care of our building. Long-term maintenance reserve is in very good stewardship of previous committees and previous actions by people that have been a member of this church. So the number on paper looks a little, again, scary in air quotes, but it doesn't tell the full story. The other big thing you've got to keep in mind is that pledging is cyclical, or there's a lot of seasonality to it if I use my econ degree. There are folks that will make a payment one time at the beginning of the fiscal year. There are folks that will make a one-time payment at the beginning of the calendar year. There are folks that pay, monthly and it dribbles in. And that's part of the swing that you'll see in the budget line item every month. And again, the information is made available through One Church and sent to the congregation so that you can look line by line if you'd like. But are there any general questions I can try and address today? Go ahead.
Can you say it like it's available for the board meetings or the finance stuff? I know how to find people's addresses and stuff, but where do you find all that kind of stuff?
So, will you guys please restate their questions, put a note online?
Sure. So the question is where to find things in One Church related to board minutes and financial minutes.
Oh, I can't do it here. So for the most part, if you go to, there's a section called groups.
Right, I was wondering if it was groups.
Right, you go to the groups and it should be files, and it should be under files.
But you look at board?
Yeah, so you go to the board and you'll see board.
I thought it was policy, I just had never.
So it'll either be board or it'll be finance.
Now,
So-
and if you can teach me how to find people's email addresses, because I needed that last night and couldn't find it.
Pardon?
Yes.
Correct. Everything we have is online. It's public.
No, it's not restricted.
Right, sorry, it's not restricted to board members.
Some groups are restricted.
Yes.
Right. Right. If it is available to the general congregation, it will be available in the files. Otherwise, it'll be locked down.
Sorry, any
Other questions? No? All right.
All right, we'll beat the Baptist.
Thank you. Yeah, all right. Cool. Thank you, Alex. All right, can we scroll to, where are we? I think to the end. The other items of business, yeah, and this is just going to be real quick. Next. Yes, please. Because we had a retreat and we discussed kind of our broad board goals, and it helps if I'm also paying attention. All right, so the board goals that we came up with break down to these three. We wish to encourage more intentional intergenerational activities, both internal and external, and we've already started doing that with the SAM Thursday dinners, and we welcome any suggestions and thoughts, but our goal is to try and intermingle much more of the what we see kind of a bifurcation of our church into the younger and the older, and we'd like to get them to interact a little bit more, because there's so much that we can each learn from each other. Another of our goals is legacy planning and succession. We'd like for the next committees and the next boards not to scramble and have to learn each process all over again. Finally, we wish to strive to be a beacon of inclusivity, care, and mutual aid, which is, much more of our outreach, and as well as just trying to be a better place for the world that we live in right now. So that's, thank you. So I'm kind of proud of these goals. And that's kind of the way we will be sailing in the next the next year and hopefully beyond. So yes.
So I have a question about the goals.
Yes.
Are you encouraging the committees to build on these goals?
We will be sharing these goals, yes, and we will be encouraging the committees.
Set their own goals.
Yes, absolutely. So that is a good point. Thank you for bringing it up. Okay, you get a gold star for the day.
Thank you, teacher.
Yes. And if there are any other questions, concerns, I open the floor to open the floor to questions that I can answer the best I can. But like I said, we've only met but twice. No? Oh, yes.
No, but I want to.
Wait. Oh.
Stepping up to the leadership position on the board for the second time.
Thank you. Yes.
So I think I read in the e-news about a weekend retreat, all church convening at the end of the month about goal setting and so on. Can you tell me about that?
About? So the question was, what is this thing that's going on at the end of the month with regards October 24th and 25th? And it is an opportunity that is outside I think it's from the Tidewater Cluster, basically kind of a kickstart for our board and for our congregation to get a better feel for what the board does and what we're going to do and kind of move, what we're doing moving forward. So it's kind of a training / get to know the board, get to know what we're doing. Different than what we're doing right now, yeah. It's because it's an outside group is hosting it, so they're trying to kind of work with us.
But it's a facilitator from the UUA.
Right.
Comes to facilitate conversation about how we want Sarah to lead as a lead.
Thank you.
Has to do with having
Right.
new ministers, so I won't be.
Okay, so as Sharon, thank you. Sorry, I had to go through my thing. As Sharon pointed out, it is a facilitator from the UUA talking with us about how we want our minister and the ministry to go forward due to the fact we have a new minister. And yes.
How much will this cost?
It is, it's full free. So yeah, it's gratis. It comes with our dues.
It's included.
Yeah, included with our dues, which we pay a percentage yearly. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Any further questions? Well, thank you for being a wonderful audience and for asking good questions. And we will try and do this on a regular basis so you feel informed.